Sadie Hawkins dance in my khaki pants. There's nothing better. Oh, oh, oh. The girls, it's the guys. It's always a surprise. There's nothing better, baby. Do you like my sweater? Hello there, and welcome back to Geeky Girls Night In. I am your host, Leslie. First off, big thanks to Quinzel last week for saving my bacon. As I explained on social media, my dungeon was a mess, and you can see the results of those messes, plural, on Instagram. But the dungeon is back in order-ish, I guess. There's no water, so I'm okay. And so let's get started, shall we? Tonight, I am drinking chai spice tea because spring is trying so hard to come to Indianapolis, but my sinuses are not ready for it. So I'm drinking hot tea, and I'm drinking it out of my Upward Bound mug. For those of you that don't know what Upward Bound is, it is a kind of a college preparatory program for low-income kids. Gets them on track, tries to make sure that they go off to college, and I am living proof that it works because I was in Upward Bound and I'm a college graduate. So yay me. That's what I'm drinking tonight and what I'm drinking from. And shout out to Upward Bound and the TRIO program. It was a great thing for me, and hopefully it's still going on and still a great thing for other people. So, all right, let's get busy. Let's talk about books. So I was perusing Instagram when I noticed that Sarah Henning, the author of Sea Witch, had just announced that there's going to be a Sea Witch sequel book. It's called Sea Witch Rising, and you can find out a little bit more about the original Sea Witch book. I talked a little bit about it on the podcast several episodes ago. The author is Sarah Henning, and basically it's Ursula from The Little Mermaid. It's Ursula's story and how she came to be. I enjoy fairy tales that have been twisted and things like that, so it was a really good read. I dug it, so I'm excited about that. It's coming out this year, August 6th, 2019, so be on the lookout for that. In other book news, Kenya Wright, and if you don't know who Kenya Wright is, I kind of ranted about her on one of our first few episodes. She writes a series called the Santeria Habitat series, and I read all of the books that are currently out about it, and the series isn't finished. And the writer, Kenya, is a prolific writer and has written many, many things, but she hasn't come back to that. And so I was on here begging and pleading for her to please finish that series. And I know she sees these things because she's on our Facebook page and occasionally likes things. So Kenya, please finish the Santeria Habitat series. But I'm not here to beg her for that right now. What I'm here to talk about is a new book she has coming out, and it's called Rhapsody. And I have the description of it right here. Let's see. At least I did. Yep, it's right here. So it's also a series, and it's The Butcher and the Violinist. So I don't know about all that, but here's the description. In Paris, they call him Le Boucher, the butcher of the Corsican. Jean-Pierre's greatest gift was a lack of feelings. His past had ripped them away. But then he saw Eden. On stage, she played her violin, spinning his head with songs that he tried to forget. Unable to stop himself, he makes Eden his obsession. And unlike any normal man, he takes what he wants. But there's someone in the shadows blocking his path. His plans for Eden won't be so simple. This mystery person sends Russians his way, igniting a war with the Bratva. Too bad there's no limit to his obsession for her. No force that can stop him. No bullet to get in his way. Jean-Pierre will kill anyone and destroy anything to taste Eden's love, even go to war. So, yeah. And there's a warning. It says, this is King Right being very King Right. Mystery, money, darkness, power, mind twists, sex. If you enjoy dirty kisses, power, and no ordinary love, some of her other books, then you won't be able to put down this addictive story. And you'll make Jean-Pierre a new book boyfriend to dream about. So if you're into that, go ahead and check that out. Also, I've talked on here about Kimbra Swain. She's author of the Fairy Tales of a Trailer Park Queen. She announced her latest book called Suck It Up, Buttercup, and that's coming out March 26th. Now, here's the deal. I go on vacation in May, so I think what I'm going to do is hold out on reading Suck It Up, Buttercup until I get on vacation. I said as much on her fan page, and a couple of people laughed at me, so we'll see. Also, since I've been gone, we had our first D&D meeting. It's me and a group of girls, and it went well. I was not comfortable at all being the DM, so I was able to foist that upon Caitlin. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for taking that over. We may have also added a new person, and we didn't really play our first meeting. We just went ahead and we set up characters, and I set up a character, and I believe I'm a dwarf, so that's always fun. Give me a second and I will tell you more about my dwarf. There he is, character manager. I'm a hill dwarf. And my background is guild artisan. I'm 32, 4'3", which is kind of close to real life. And my dwarf's weight is 150 pounds, which is not close to real life at all. I can speak, read, and write Common and Dwarvish. I haven't really filled out any more on it, but if you have any suggestions, I am more than happy to listen to them. So it's pretty exciting. I like building the character, getting a feel for it, that sort of thing. We meet next month to, I guess, start gameplay. So if you're interested in knowing how that goes, let me know. I can also write blog posts about it. So I also read a article today about the creator of D&D, Gary Gygax. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And it's a very interesting story. And it was about his wife as well. Also, there was somebody, I can't remember the name, but it's a blogger, and he is generally negative to Gary's widow, and just a very negative person in general, it seems. I went to their blog. It's a lot. So if I get doxxed, that's probably why. Oh well. In gaming news, other than D&D, a new game is coming out called Deck of Ashes, and it's by AY Games, or as I like to call them, A Games. It is a turn-based RPG game, and it's a computer game. And you explore the game world while tracking down powerful cards to forge a powerful battle deck. So it sounds kind of a little bit like Hearthstone. If you lose a battle, you lose all your cards and you have to start over again. That sounds a little nerve-wracking. So I look forward to that coming out and playing that. I'll have more information on that in the show notes. August 1st, the Pathfinder 2nd edition comes out. Also, this is an interesting one. So March 18th through the 22nd is the Game Developers Conference. And Google is there this year. and rumors are kind of circulating, first of all, but there's also a Google sponsored event March 19th at like 10 a.m. Pacific time. So 11, 12, 1 o'clock Eastern. The main thinking is that Google plans to announce a game streaming service and possibly a console. Last October, Google opened a beta of its Project Stream, which allowed gamers to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey from Chrome, and there was like no installation needed. So that's where everybody thinks that this is going. We'll see. I'm pretty excited. It'll be interesting to see what Google puts out. Huge fan of Google, so as I have a Pixel 3 XL. So also in other gaming news, E3. So I've wanted to attend E3 forever, but it seems like it's getting smaller and smaller. EA Games just backed out because they're holding their own event the week before E3. But here's what I'm thinking. With all of the big names backing out, it seems like it's prime real estate and opportunity for smaller, more independent games to come through and take up that space. There's plenty of them out there, so I hope they get the chance to do that. On the Facebook page, I talked about doing a Captain Marvel episode this episode, but a couple things went down. I want it to be a panel, and for that to happen, you kind of need people to do that. Well, the people that I want on the panel, they could not meet up at this time because they were seeing Captain Marvel multiple times. I ain't mad at them. I did the same thing for Black Panther, so more power to them. So I think the plan is next week, we're going to go ahead, we're going to meet up, we're going to do a roundtable, we're going to discuss Captain Marvel. If you have any questions at all, feel free to get in touch through any of our social media channels. And also, I just found out that the phone number that we use for the podcast is disconnected. Don't know how that happened. I didn't do it. So we have a new number, and it's 317-207-0693. That's 317-207-0693. And you can go ahead and call and leave messages or questions that you may have for us, and we're more than happy to answer them on the show. So, and in our final news story, it looks like people have started taking their first steps on their journey of the Appalachian Trail. I wish them the best of luck and look forward to the YouTube videos this year. That's actually how I discovered the Blackalachian. I was reading one of the Little House on the Prairie books, one of Laura's daughter's books, The House on Rocky Ridge, and they settled in the Appalachian Trail, and I sort of started to get obsessed with it a little bit and started reading about the Appalachian Trail, and that's how I discovered the Blackalachian. This time, about 2 years ago, he was on his journey on the AT. His latest adventure was biking one of the trails of the Underground Railroad. There'll be a link to the first part of his journey on the Underground Railroad in the show notes. He's also setting up an adventure across the pond. Details of this are on his Instagram, and of course I'll link to that as well. That wasn't the last one, I'm sorry. The last story I have is the gaming store Donuts and Dragons is opening here in Indianapolis, and there's a picture of it on our Instagram, like the coming soon sign. It's a donut shop, beer bar, and gaming library. They want to be open before Gen Con, which is cool and all, but in all honesty, they're nowhere near where Gen Con takes place. Gen Con takes place in downtown Indianapolis. This is on the northwest side, it's kind of near Castleton Mall, but not really. It's probably closer to the Fashion Mall than Castleton Mall, if you know what I'm talking about. But we wish them the best of luck and can't wait for them to open. That might be a viable option for the D&D game that I've set up with my friends. So we'll see how that goes. that is it for this week. You guys have a good one. And I will catch you on the internet somewhere. Bye. Geeky Girls Night In is brought to you by me, Leslie. You can find me on Twitter at Geeky Girls NI, on Facebook at Geeky Girls Night In, or in your backyard, strumming dulcet tones on a mandolin, serenading you sweetly. Feel free to shoot me a message if you have something geeky going on that you want announced on the show. You can find written musings by me, Quinzel, or Melissa at geekygirlguide.com. Like the show? Would you like to buy me a cup of coffee? Consider donating to my coffee. That's ko-fi.com/geekygirlsni. Want to send me or the other girls some snail mail? You can reach us at P.O. Box 90232, Indianapolis, Indiana 46290. Feel free to leave a review on iTunes or on the Facebook page. I'll read new reviews, good or bad, on the show. Music is by Mackay Beats. Until next time. She said you're cool and good with talking. Come with me to the Sadie Hawkins.